Welcome back to Cabin View Ventures. My name is Nick, and today we're doing some staining. So I'm finally back to work on the roadside firewood stand. The weather's been terrible the last 2 weeks. We've had a ton of rain, so I finally had a couple days where it's been dry and I can get back to work on this project. So I want to show you how I stain. It's very simple. I do it by hand. You can use a spray gun, but I feel like I get better results when I just do it by hand. So I prefer to do it that way. Now, I've done a lot of staining out here. I live in a log house. I stain the entire thing by hand, all by myself. It took me probably 3 months for that entire project. So probably not the best way to do it, but I learned a lot by doing it that way. Besides the house, I have my wood shed, which you've seen before, and then I have my equipment shed. So 2 different types of stain from what you're going to use on the log house compared to what you're going to use on your sheds. The sheds or any kind of wood siding, you can use this oil-based stain. It works just fine. It absorbs into the wood, gives you nice coverage. It's going to last a long time. So the important thing is, just a good quality oil-based stain and 2 coats. 2 coats is key. The first coat is going to absorb into the wood. It's not going to give you nice even coverage, so that second coat is going to be needed. But with the oil-based stains, most of them have a clear coat protection in them as well, so it's just an all-in-one. You're going to do 2 coats and you're going to be done. On a log house where you have solid wood, or solid logs, my logs are 12 inches tall by 6 inches thick. You're going to use a different stain. That type of stain is water-based, and that stain is a lot more elastic. It actually sits on the outside of the wood. So in a log house that you heat and cool, those logs expand and contract all throughout the year. So if you used an oil-based stain on a log home, that stain would crack and separate, and it would not last nearly as long. So I'll do a quick walk around. I'll show you the house, kind of explain a little bit. Oh, thanks, bud. Anthony brought me lunch.
I have to bring my plate out here now.
You're bringing yours out too?
Yeah.
All right, we'll eat lunch together. We got peanut butter and jelly and Doritos. So not a bad lunch for working outside. So like I said, I'll kind of walk you around the house quick, show you that, and explain a little bit how I stain that. And then I'll show you the shed again. But three simple things, or three basic things you need, right? The stain, just a cheap brush. This is an economy 3-inch flat surface brush. This is going to get me through this whole project, no problem. This stain, when you're done for the night, just rinse your brush out with water really good, wrap it in cellophane, and it'll stay good for quite a while like that. And then a metal bucket. So as you can see, this metal bucket, I used this when I stained the house 7 years ago. So, one metal bucket, I actually think I have 2 of these, is gonna last you probably forever or a really long time. But you can see it's got a lot of old stain in there. You don't ever have to scrape them out. Just wipe them out, make sure there's no debris before you dump your fresh stain in it, and you're good to go. So metal bucket, a cheap brush, and whatever type of stain you prefer to use. So let's do a quick walk around. I'll show you the roadside firewood stand again, and then we'll take a look at the buildings.
Dad, can I talk?
Yeah, what do you want to say, bud? Come on up. You say hi?
When I grow up, I can use the other one.
You can use the other stain brush?
Yeah.
You're gonna help me?
The other one, another stain brush.
Oh, another bucket, and you're gonna help me stain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a big help. All right, so I'll give you a closer look at the stain. You can buy this at Lowe's or Home Depot. Both of them carry this. Olympic Elite Mountain Cedar. It's their woodland oil. And then it says complete 1-coat protection. But like I said, you'll definitely need 2 coats. So this is a 3-gallon bucket. I might need more. This one's getting a little empty because I've been through the equipment shed and the wood shed with this one bucket. So, and then your metal pail, and that's the brush. So as you can see, I did this 3 years ago, I think now. So this is sycamore that I milled with my Alaskan mill. It's actually turned out really good for sycamore. It stayed nice and straight. It's holding up really well. So really impressed with how that has worked out. But you can see, you know, after a couple years, still has a really nice, rich look to it. We got the siding on it. We got all the roofing, or the rafters on. We got most of the inside framing done. We still need to put some floor supports in here. And then we're gonna have to frame out a section where we're gonna put the money box. But I wanted to leave it like this for now, so we have easy access to get everything stained instead of trying to climb in between supports. Let's walk down to the equipment shed. So this shed I did 4 or 5 years ago. So you can see that still looks great too. So really happy with how that stain is holding up on that siding. And that's just T111 that I have on that shed. So that's just pine siding.
Why?
Now the house, let's get a good corner here. So let's see, I did this I put this stain on in the summer of 2017. So it's been 6 years now. Almost 6 years to the date that this stain has been on the house. And it still looks really good. I would guess I probably have at least another 5 or 6 years left on this before I have to restain it. Now, when you're doing a log house, you know, the key is a good high quality stain. You know, I use Permachink. Permachink and Sashco are probably 2 of the biggest log home stain companies. Permachink is headquartered in Pennsylvania, so they're a little more local to me. I can get things from them pretty quick. Customer service is great, and they have a complete line of log home products: interior, exterior, decking, everything. So, you know, that stain that I did on this, I put 2 coats on, put a clear coat on top of it. A lot more steps involved when you're doing a log house compared to a woodshed. You know, this, I ended up sanding the logs down really good, washed them. You have to put a pesticide on that absorbs into the wood, helps preserve it, kill any bugs that might get in there. And then you get into your stain process. So 2 coats of stain, a clear coat, has to sit for a year, and then you do a second clear coat. But like I said, I learned a whole lot about staining by doing this house. All right, I don't put too much in. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know. It's not even like a quarter of a bucket because you don't use a whole lot, and you got to be able to stir it as you know, keep it mixed good as you're putting it on. So don't put too much in your bucket.
He's a quarterback, so when they touch his face mask, even on a run, they usually call. Second down and 7. Packers once again. He put a kick in the face mask, and nothing called, and he goes down. He was hit again in the helmet. Chase Young grabbed it from
All right, so that's why you don't need to put a whole lot in your bucket, because I haven't refilled my bucket yet, and I've still got a little bit left in there. So you can see it goes a long way. You just put, you know, a pretty light coat on. It absorbs a little more on that first coat. The second coat goes on even thinner than that. But let me stand back here, I'll show you. You can see the difference in color, and that's gonna get, this is gonna get a little bit lighter still as it dries. I'm gonna get the rest of this stained and then I'll bring you guys back before I put the metal roofing on. But I like doing it by hand. You can spray it, but if you spray it, you're gonna go through a lot more stain, and you still have to go through and back brush everything anyway, because it's not gonna spray on nice and even. So, you know, it takes a little bit longer to do it by hand, but you use less stain, and you're gonna get a nicer look on that first coat. Makes putting the second coat on much easier. So, all right, let me get back to work on this, and I'll bring you guys back once I have this first coat done. All right, we got most of the shed stained. I didn't get the interior done, but I got the front, the back, the sides, the roof. So enough that we can at least get the roof panels on. I have most of them cut. I got one more to cut, and then we can get these things on. So I went with the nicer roofing. This stuff's a little stronger, a little thicker. I wanted something with the color, so green, thought it would match everything nice. That is the last panel. All right, so that's how the roof turned out. You know, we wanted to get that one coat of stain on just to give it a little protection. You know, it's really not going to get any moisture, you know, or much. So, you know, that one coat will be just fine, and we'll just put the roof right on top of that. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. We got most of the first coat of stain on. We got the metal roofing on. So we made pretty good progress today. I need this thing to dry out a little bit so we can get that second coat on it and get to the interior. So it's getting closer. I feel pretty good with, you know, the progress we made today. So thanks for sticking through this one. If you liked our content, please subscribe, hit that like button, let me know if you have any questions, and we will see you on the next one.